We are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports. We hope that you guys are making it going. We know that we are as well. Huge show in store for you tonight. I thought Brian Kelly couldn't recruit. I was under the advisement that Brian Kelly couldn't recruit. All off season, you make fun of him dancing with five stars. He's never been farther south than Indiana. He doesn't know what he's doing in the SEC, and all he does is get another commit. Oh, and by the way, in the great words of Marcus Peters, I think we ain't done yet. So, as LSU closes in ever so much on the top 3 class, we will talk about that tonight in Recruiting Update Part 2 this week. We'll get, it's Thursday. So what do we do every single Thursday? We do 2 things. Number 1, keep my keys to victory, what LSU's going to have to do to pull off the upset against Alabama Saturday night in Death Valley. Coach Jason Brown, the real Coach JB from the Netflix documentary and just a good buddy of the show, drops by at 6:30. I will admit, Coach JB said some stuff about, why is LSU ranked at 10? People can debate. You say something, people can actually debate, but we'll get to much, much more with him about college football this upcoming Saturday. Looking forward to having our friend Coach JB back on the show. As we do every Tuesday and Thursday, hashtag Ask Blake. Thoughts, questions, concerns, fire them inside of the Rudy Crew chat. We will get to as many of them as we can. And Michael Thomas is on the IR. I think it's time to move on from Mike Thomas. I think it's time we move on from Mike Thomas. Hot take. If he's not going to be there, guys, there's nothing different. So we'll see. We'll get to all of that tonight. Get to a couple comments, though, before we get started. Joseph on Facebook says, recruits love dancing. BI. Yeah, it's true. Josh Forbes says, can't wait until Friday. What's up Friday? Chris English says, Nicholas Harbor has also set up his 3 official visits, and LSU is on his list. Yes, we have confirmed here at AYS. He told our team, I think it's December the 2nd, that he will be making his way down to Baton Rouge. So we'll be looking forward to that. Justin on YouTube says, do you think LSU will rush the field if we beat Bama? They should. They should. And if they do, there's going to be, if LSU lose, let me just say this very quickly. If LSU beats Alabama on Saturday, and it's an if, I mean, it's a big if to some people. I think you're going to want to mute me on Twitter. You're probably going to want to mute me on Twitter. I'm going to be pretty freaking obnoxious. So just forewarning. NRMN on YouTube says, no, we not. By the way, this O-line may be the best class that we've seen at LSU. Could be. And look, to his point here, maybe it's not the best overall class, but it's the most well put together class that we've had. Orgeron did some really good things in recruiting. I mean, look, you can't take away from what Ed did in recruiting. However, from a top to bottom, I mean, guys, you have 4 offensive linemen that are committed. I've been told that they'll probably go from 1, possibly 2 at absolute max just to look at in the portal from the offensive line. You're building this class really well. And they're not done. We'll get to that recruiting update. I'll give you some of my thoughts as we get into the show. Jared Winnington on Facebook says some Bama grumps, I think he means gumps, says on my friends list are getting nervous right now. Well, they should. They should. Colin Thibodeau says gonna catch my Cajun ass on that field if we win Saturday night. Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see some people, some drunk Cajuns trying to jump over a fence. How you get? Mr. Perp on YouTube says, how many we taking this year? Shit. In the wise words of Mike Epps on all about the Benjamins, a 15, a 30, a 37, a 38, 45, 47, a 45, 47. Now, I'm really about to find out how many of you are very well cultured. I think Pooh Bear's not liking my singing. Oh, well. Pooh Bear, you know you love my singing. Come on, man. Josh Ford says, if we beat Bama, Blake will be streaking through Franklinton. I don't live in Franklinton, and no, I wouldn't. I'm not going back there. Penn Jones says, Blake, what are you hearing about the interim tag being taken off of, I'm assuming you mean Mickey Joseph at Nebraska. I saw that little thing on Twitter. I think, Penn, you can, not yet. Not yet. I did make a phone call to my guy. Oh, look who's back, Edward O. Let's see. He says they will carry BK off the field if he beats Bama in year one. They probably would. He probably would. They'll definitely pour the water on him. Unknown says, I'll be watching y'all from the club. Where's your club? Adam B says, you mess with the white around your lips. But that's two comments that Adam said tonight that he needs his fiance, Kristen, to get on him about. I mean, he said that one and then said pounding on their butts. Pause. You need to go see Kristen, brother. I mean, you need to go see your woman. You know. Danny Krantz says, damn, Blake, P. Diddy needs to sign you now. Boy can sing. Chill out. David says, and thank you, Danny. David says, we may not be Bama. I'll take 9-3 under Coach BK. First year is definitely a great year. Yeah, we'll talk about that. So let's get to that, and let's get to our keys to victory. I do have a pretty big recruiting update I want to get to as well. Pooh Bear says, Cap. Pooh Bear, you all right, man? You need some milk and cook? You know you love my singing. Just come on, man. Come on, man. I'm not going to read. So listen. I have Zach and Pooh Bear, the producers, and we have a system behind the scenes where they can DM me stuff throughout the show. I'm not going to put what Pooh Bear said behind the scenes. But my God, that goes to where, yes, we do probably need to get to a commercial break. Rick, God damn. Rick says, and Rick, I want to give Rick a shout out, man. Rick sent us a little care package for the family. Rick, I appreciate it, buddy. I really, really appreciate you doing that for my family. But he says DJ Chester committed rounds out this O-line haul in this class nicely. Yeah, I don't think that they're done yet. I think that they'll look for one more. I don't think that they'll be done right now, but if they are, I think they're okay with it. Okay. Let's do this. Let's get this thing rolling, y'all. Everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share. So many of you are listening to us live right now on Facebook. Stop, collaborate, and listen. Hit the like and share. Share to all those social media groups. All of those LSU Tiger groups, we greatly appreciate you doing that. If you're on YouTube, you can still share that Facebook group. Do us a favor. Share to your Twitter. Share to your Facebook. We greatly appreciate you doing that for us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and notification bell if you're listening to us anywhere you listen to podcasts and or on the TuneIn app or XM Radio. We greatly appreciate it. Rate, review, subscribe, all of that great stuff. Don't be a square. Hit the like and share. Okay, let's get this thing rolling. We'll be right back. My keys to victory. We'll get to them. And pretty massive recruiting update. You're going to want to stay tuned. BK going in on a top 3 class? Thought you said the man couldn't recruit. We talk about it next. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way for you to wager on all of your favorite sports, contests, events with the first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews for all the news for each league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, college sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all of your sports information for live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head on over to BetOnline today and use your mobile device to join and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BELIEVE50, BLEAV 50, to receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, betonline.ag. With over 65 years of experience, nobody is better equipped to service in your vehicle than GM Varnado & Sons. RV repair, big rig overhauls, motorhome chassis, routine maintenance, tire rotations, tire sales. No job is too big or too small over at GM. If you break down the side of the road in the greater Baton Rouge area, they will come and get you. And the best thing about that is that they can come and get you, and then they can bring your vehicle back to their shop and start the repairs right then. Again, GM Varnado & Sons. Go see them over at 2500 Fuller Boulevard. Give them a call at 225-664-9992. 225-664-9992. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino sent you on by. Okay, I am not Mark on YouTube since it's $2 via Super Chat. He says, are y'all going to whip up on Bama on November the 5th? We will be remembering. Remember the 5th of November. Yeah, I will listen, and I'll tell you what my thoughts are. But if you think that we're going to beat Alabama on Saturday, put it inside the chat. Give us a score prediction if you want. We'll bring some of those up if you put the score predictions in there. Everybody do us a favor. Hit the like and share. Okay. Guys, we've talked about it all week. We're pretty much here, right? Like, this is our last episode before Saturday morning pregame show, and then we'll do the postgame shows. So this is it. This is what we're here. Guys, you're really and truthfully, as Thursday winds down, you're here, man. Only a couple more days until you take on Alabama. Here's my keys to victory, man. And it's pretty simple. And a lot of people want to overcomplicate things. A lot of people like to say that LSU's got to do something exotic and different. Man, you got to play your game and you got to execute. That's what it all comes down to. I think LSU can make this a dogfight. And look, Coach JB, who will be coming on the show in about, 15 minutes? A lot of people, even our media doesn't believe that you can do it. You got to believe. As much as I want to say that, that's my number one, you got to believe you can do it. But number one, let's get to actual football, because some people are like, oh, you shouldn't be number 10. LSU doesn't deserve to be number 10. Well, are you going to put Utah there? They got their cheeks clapped by Florida up front. Bad baby. Kansas State, nobody's talking about them. They're 12. They lost to Tulane, who's 19. Yes, the SEC team's going to get a little bit more favor than the Rudy Poos in the Pac-12. It's my opinion. But here's your keys to victory. Number one, guys, you're going to have to hit at least 4 to 6 balls downfield, meaning those passes that you had to Jeray Jenkins that was converted to a touchdown. You got to have better timing on them. But you got to continue to fire shots to guys like Brian Thomas Jr., to Jeray Jenkins. You got to hit Kayshon Boutte, which they've done a lot and really at will at times when they wanted to, when there hasn't been some complications. Get Kayshon Boutte over the middle, let him work in space. Don't do something out of the ordinary to try to beat a team that you could already beat by what you've been doing. But you're going to have to, when Alabama puts one-on-one coverage between Desmond Ricks, Eli Ricks, and Brian Thomas Jr., you go and give Brian Thomas Jr. the chance to come down with the football, because I believe that he will and that he can. Let it rip. Let it rip. If LSU completes if they do complete 4 to 6 of those balls downfield, it's going to start loosening Alabama up. I do think Alabama is going to try to. I hate to say this, but there are some people around Alabama that I've been talking to this week. They think Alabama is going to try to stack the box a little bit to take away what Jane does in the running game. But when you do that, he's really effective. When we put this up last night, 70% of the time, he's completing passes, and that's with a game where he went 8 of 20 against Auburn. I wish they would stack the box against our elite receivers. Maybe they back out. We'll see. But I think it would be a very dumb move for Alabama to play that press coverage, to play one-on-one. It would be dumb because I think LSU would expose them. Number 2, and Brian Kelly's talked about this, and look, I'm sure Brian Kelly's at the podium right now. Let me check. I don't see anything from anybody. Maybe he's running a little bit late here, and we'll get to some because he was supposed to have a press conference at 5:55 here tonight. But we'll get you some of those comments. But my thing is this. My thing is defensively, you got to let Harold Perkins fly. Like, you just got to let him go. You got to get pressure after Bryce Young. Guys, Bryce Young has been shown. Tennessee did it. Texas did it. Georgia did it in the national title game. You get pressure on Bryce Young, he's in trouble. Now, is he going to get away from some of it? Yes. But you got to hit him and hit him and hit him and hit him and get him off his game. The thing about Bryce, though, man, is he's a very tough individual. A very, very, very tough individual. Get him off his mark. Make him beat you by at least scrambling. Like, get after him. Don't let him sit in the pocket and pick you apart. Do not let him pick you apart. Now, I see David says, have Perkins spy on Bryce Young. I don't necessarily, and we talked about this at great length last night. I don't necessarily agree with that, man. Like, I don't necessarily agree with that. And here's why. Bryce Young only has 137 rushing yards. 100 of those came in week 1 so many weeks ago. So over the last 6 or 7 games, or 6 games that he's played, he's only had 37 rushing yards. He's looking to throw the football. Spying him necessarily won't be the absolute key to this game. Now, do you have to play contain on him? Do you have to get pressure in the interior? Really and truthfully, the way that you win is you got to get pressure on him in the interior, because he's not going to be able to run away completely from B.J. Ojulari and especially Harold Perkins. You get pressure on him up in the middle. That's where Bryce Young has been at his worst. Get him off his mark, man. Completely get him off his mark. Third and final, man, you can't make boneheaded mistakes. I know that because really and truthfully, and what we've seen from Alabama, they're going to be the ones that make the boneheaded mistakes. They are the ones that's going to make the boneheaded mistakes. They're a very highly penalized team. What was it? Number 3 in the country at being penalized. If LSU plays a clean game. Now, look, if there's a holding here or there, a 5-yard penalty here and there, a false start, whatever, I can live with a little bit of it. But you got to play discipline. Special teams, you got to be disciplined. Like, if there's one thing that if I'm Brian Kelly, I'm preaching all week, guys, just stay disciplined. Play your game. Don't let everything around you get so big that you lose focus of what you have to do. Be disciplined, be focused. For some reason, and I don't know if this is how you guys feel, but this is just me. Now, do I worry that LSU can lose? Yes. I do worry that LSU can lose. It's something that's plausible. But, man, ever since Brian Kelly has been the head coach at LSU, yes, they had a bad game against Tennessee. Yes, they had a bad game in the first half against Florida State. I just don't worry about the game plan and the focus and really preaching what needs to be preached to these guys in that locker room. Now, do I worry about execution? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Don't make it bigger than what it is. I will add a 3A into this. Guys, I promise you, if LSU runs the football for over 150 yards against Alabama, you're going to win the game. You got to be able to establish the line of scrimmage. Look, the biggest thing about that Tennessee game against Alabama, everybody talks about Jalen Hyatt this, Jalen Hyatt that. And that's true. Hendon Hooker this, Hendon Hooker that. It's true. But why were those safeties up in the box? Because Tennessee established a very firm running game. Every time Alabama would get out in the perimeter, put their safeties deep, 12, 15, 17 yards, Tennessee would run the football at a very high clip. Those safeties would then, because Saban would get so aggravated and irritated, those safeties would walk up, and then here comes your passing attack. This front seven for Alabama is beatable. Now, the biggest worry, the biggest test on this offense in general, yes, it can be Jaden. We talked about him at length. If your two freshman tackles hold their own, they're probably going to give up a pressure. They'll probably give up a sack. I can live with two. I can live with 2 sacks in Saturday's game. It's going to happen, guys. But if they hold their own and you run the ball for 150 yards. Now, I said this 2 weeks ago against Ole Miss, literally to the day. I said, listen, if you hold Ole Miss to under 120 rushing yards, which I think LSU was going to do, you're going to win. Vice versa, and the flip side of that, if LSU keeps Bryce Young off the field and they run the ball for 150 yards, this is what you're going to hear. That's what you're going to hear over and over and over again. If LSU does those 4 things, 3.5 things, 4 things, whatever you want to label it as, if they do those 4 things, LSU is going to win 31-28. That's my prediction. They can do it. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility. You're not going up against Thanos. Thanos is not on the other side. Nick Saban is immortal. This team is very mortal. So we'll see. All right, I want to pull this up though. I just saw this comment. Lloyd on Facebook says, Blake, my humble apologies. God bless you and your family. Go Rodgers. I think he means Tigers. Yeah, some people call me crazy for having LSU 10. Isn't that funny? Lauren says, realistically, I don't see us winning, but excited to hopefully see BJ and Perkins on the field at the same time. It's okay. A lot of people feel that way. Tate Granger says, if we muff a punt and kick, I might break my TV. Yeah, I hear you. Okay. Let me get to this recruiting update because Coach JB is going to be joining us in 5 minutes. That's some good bourbon, boy. Man, let me tell you, there is nothing better than a good bourbon. Sweet, down, pause, nothing like a good bourbon. Okay, if you missed it today, LSU got a commitment from interior offensive lineman DJ Chester out of the state of Georgia. Look, this marks the 4th overall offensive lineman that's committed to LSU. I don't see that changing. I think that these 4 guys are pretty locked in to LSU, especially DJ Chester, obviously after today. Here's my thing, though, and I'll give you another recruiting update. Listen. Let me say this very because look, you can get caught up in the moment. Right? Like, you can get caught up in the moment. And I don't want you to think that I'm caught up in the moment because this is something that we've been talking about for a long time. And yes, DJ Chester, as Chris English says, he's 6'5", 300 pounds. Going to play probably guard at LSU. Big, physical kid. A really good addition. I mean, he had offers from Florida, Georgia. I mean, he had offers from a lot of people. So it is a massive addition when you get him. But let me say this. You're going to have a lot of big name recruits at LSU this weekend. Desmond Ricks, the 5-star corner who reclassified to the 2023 class, he's going to be here this Saturday. Javian Taviano will be here this Saturday. I want to tell you this, and this is to everybody who say that BK can't recruit. Remember, and you know what's so funny? Like, I guess this is me. I guess I'm petty, man. Like, I guess I'm really petty. Like, y'all remember when people got mad that Brian Kelly didn't hold a press conference after the first recruiting signing day? Like, y'all remember that? He hadn't been here 2 weeks. He didn't even know half the names that he had committed to him. Now they sit on 247, the number 4 overall class. They're not the number 4 overall class. They'll be in the top 3 if they continue to do what they're doing, especially as it's trending with guys like Javian Taviano and Desmond Ricks. Let me say this too, because nobody's talking about this. Everybody was talking about when Texas A&M was doing everything that they were doing. You remember, oh, Blake, it's NIL, LSU's so behind. What's your argument now? Remember on this show religiously when I would come out here and say, RELAX, relax. LSU has a plan. They're going to execute it. Where are you people at now? Where are you at now? Hey, how's A&M doing again? How's their recruiting class going? Oh, that's right. See, the funny thing about recruiting is that you can throw money at any problem and think it's going to get fixed. Throwing money at a situation doesn't fix things. You may think it does. It doesn't. It doesn't. So, bottom line is that Texas A&M, all these other Rudy Poo schools can throw money at NIL, but at the end of the day, you still have the teams that have good head coaching, good administration, good ADs that sit atop the top 5 in this recruiting classes. So when I came out here a year ago and said, excuse my French, but calm the down about LSU and NIL, and you're like, oh, A&M, circle jerks. Where are you at now? Because you have 2 5-star corners that are trending to LSU, and nobody in the LSU media who is saying that we're behind or that LSU is behind is not saying a fucking word. Call them out now. But when we told you on this show to relax, you went into this chat, the Rudy Crew chat, and you ate me alive. Who's sitting on top of this motherfucker now? And yes, it pisses me off. Because I had to deal with that shit for a year and none of you were saying anything. All right. 2 comments and then we'll get into Coach JB. Anthony Saint says, hashtag Ask Blake, how do you feel about number 7 going into Saturday? I think it'll be fine. Boogie Season says, hashtag Ask Blake, how did A&M keep the Bama game so close? Well, they clap cheeks up front. Alabama can be soft up front. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see Saturday. All right. Let's get to a quick break. Coach JB joins us next. We'll talk. Look, a lot of quarterback play. A lot of elite quarterback play, at least in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. But a lot of good quarterback play going head-to-head this upcoming Saturday. We'll talk about that next. Let's talk about our good friends over at GrahamCo, thegrahamco.com. Guys, we return in 45 seconds with the real Coach JB. Next. Guys, I've got to talk to you about our good friends over at GrahamCo. They are the Delta 8 company based out of the state of Florida. They're founded by college football junkies just like you and I am not sure if you're familiar with Delta 8, but you need to be. GrahamCo is the absolute leader in this field, and they have phenomenal products that I just need to tell you about. First off is the Wake and Bake coffee that is absolutely spectacular. The gummies are as well, as they're the best in the market. So go to thegrahamco.com right now and use the promo code AYS25. That's thegrahamco.com, AYS25 promo code to get 25% off of your order. Jump on this fast as it is perfect for holidays, anniversaries, and everyday use. GrahamCo is hemp-derived and completely legal inside of the state of Louisiana. No medical card is needed, and shipping is very discreet. You must be 21 years older to order. Again, that's thegrahamco.com. Use that promo code AYS25. All right, we are joined here by our friend, the real Coach JB. My man, Coach, what's happening? Uh-oh, can you hear us? Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can get it fixed, guys, and then we'll bring him back up. Coach, if you can hear us now? Okay. Coach, you can hear us? Okay, we don't have you. Bear with us. Bear with us. Getting to some of these comments, we'll get Coach. Oh, there's something there. There was something there. Yeah, we got you a little bit. You got us?
I got you.
All right, awesome. Coach, I appreciate you joining us. How we doing tonight?
Good, brother. How are you?
Doing good. Coach, I got to ask you. The rankings came out on Tuesday. The LSU fans, you kind of went at them. Y'all went back and forth. I want to hear your thoughts. What were your thoughts on the rankings this past Tuesday?
Man, the issue is a 2-loss team's not going to get in, and that's just going to be that's just a fact. And I do realize head-to-head, and LSU beat Ole Miss pretty handily. But Ole Miss is the only team in that deal that's out of the top 10 that has a shot actually of getting in the playoff. And that's what my point was when I broke it down and said, okay, LSU beat you. I realized that. I understand what the hell I posted. All I was saying was, the loss to Florida State early on is looking worse and worse every single day. That loss right there inevitably threw you out of the mix. Ole Miss, having lost later, in the middle of the season to LSU, is going to end up being a good loss on their record at the end of the day, especially if LSU fares against Alabama this weekend, which I think they can play well against them. You're going to have a 2-loss team ahead of a 1-loss team at the end of the day, and Ole Miss will be left out of this thing. And you're going to have if you're going to do that, then it needs to be consistent across the board. And Utah's got 2 losses too. Why aren't they ranked ahead of SC? They beat them. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Like, why is UCLA ranked below UCLA? They beat the hell out of Utah. SC lost to Utah. I just don't see the rationale. And if you're going to do this and rank Tennessee above Georgia before they play this weekend, Tennessee's done nothing in 20 years, and you're going to anoint them as the number 1 team before they play Georgia, then why didn't you rank TCU higher than Alabama? So, I just don't understand the rationale. I don't get the committee. I did a show myself on my own show. The committee is just comprised of a bunch of, non-football playing people, except for Will Shields, who I played with, who's a great human and a Hall of Famer.
He's the only one on that committee that played, Coach. I'm sure you know.
Yeah, you got the kid from Penn State who went to play for the Ravens for 3 years.
Yeah.
Then he retired, and now he's a math major, and he's a big-time mathematician. And, you have to have that guy on the panel. And, they have a lady from Arizona State who is she is world-renowned in women's relations when it comes to women's relations, I guess. So I guess she knows how to pick a BCS national champ. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't get it. And then you got a bunch of good old boys. The AD at Kentucky, who's the longest tenured AD in SEC. You got the AD at Iowa. You got as the running the thing. I mean, I guess it's better than Condoleezza Rice being in there. I don't know. Just it's a joke. It's a joke.
So let me ask you this, Coach. Do you think that if LSU were to win out and still being a 2-loss team, because if they win out, they would be the SEC champ outright. Do you think that they would leave them out if they're the SEC overall champ? Again, Coach, you know that we're just debating here. Like, hypothetically, if they did. Now, I'm not saying they are. I'm just spitting it to you.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting. What if Ole Miss won out? See what I'm saying? That's the problem. I just think the committee leaves too many open-ended questions that are.
Are you in favor for to rudely interrupt you? Are you in favor for the expansion when you have stuff like this happening?
No, I think football is so bad across the board. It's not a good thing that it's equitable. I'm just being honest. We talked about this before. I think it's actually a bad thing. It's bad football being played, and it's not equitable. It's not equitable if everyone's bad. I'm just being honest. Like, this is a real thing. And I don't know if It's going to be hard for me to see Alabama losing another game. If they do, then I just think we're at the end of saying, okay, this is what this world has become. Alabama loses one more, then we're going to be sitting there like, okay, now if Alabama wins out, like they normally do every year after a loss, they're going to play whoever, winner, the Georgia, winner, right, or whatever. And you're going to be sitting there like, I'd be hard-pressed to see LSU beat Alabama this weekend. But if they do and can win out, that Florida State loss has to loom large, right? Are you going to take them over a one-loss Michigan or Ohio State that only losses to each other when they play at the end of this thing? Are you going to take them over an Oregon team that lost to Georgia game 1, who's really could be arguably the best team in football right now? Are you going to take them over that, even though Pac-12 is weaker division? What are you going to do? You're going to take a 2-loss team that lost to Florida State game 1, who's lost 3 games in a row before last week. They lost 3 games in a row to Wake, NC State, and Clemson. And the ACC looks very, very weak. That's my point. I just don't think you can do it. I just don't think you can do it. And adding 12 teams, yippee-yay, you get more shitty teams in the thing. So, let's put more shitty teams in a barrel and get out of it.
I hear you. Coach JB's joining us, the real Coach JB. We'll let you know where you can catch all of his stuff, his show, the alcohol too, Coach. I hear it's going great. Coach, let me ask you this. What am I missing on Will Levis? I don't see it. What am I missing?
Man, I don't know if you're missing anything. Will was going to come on my show. I talked to Will quite a bit. Good kid. His right tackle played for me at Indy. Jeremy Flax. He got hurt the game that Will lost the first game, and before
that Ole Miss game.
Yeah, the Ole Miss game. Before they kind of went on this descend. I don't know, man. I think he's got a lot of Carson Wentz in him, which I love. The nuts and guts, the blood, sweat, and tears. He'll play through it all. I don't think he's going to miss anything unless he absolutely has to. He's going to give you his all. He's going to grind. I don't know. I don't see an NFL guy. I don't see that transforming and transcending and transferring into the NFL. I just don't see it not being a very successful NFL quarterback. But again, that's where we are in America right now as far as the landscape of football. Quarterback play is at an all-time low, and it is bad business, in my opinion, across the country. And quarterback play is it's as bad as I've ever seen it. And it starts in high school, college, and NFL. Greatest athletes ever, but the worst quarterbacks I've seen in a long, long time.
So they put Levis in front of Hendon Hooker. Maybe I'm wrong here, but I mean, I know it's a lot of a system on what he's running. What do you see in Hendon Hooker? And have a big matchup. You talked about it with Georgia this week. How do you see that game going out with him?
I mean, it's going to be a huge determining factor on Hendon's draft status. The way the game is, I had Cash Daniel and Terry Wilson on my live last week talking and messing around, and Terry was at Garden City when I was at Indy. We played obviously for our deal, and good kid, man. I've known him a long time. And Cash was like, Coach, this is the new NFL. And Terry thinks Hendon translates well. And I thought about it. I'm like, you're right. This is the new NFL. That's fine. I get what you're saying. But at the end of the day, he'll be highly drafted. He'll be picked in. I just don't see Hendon translating either. I don't see him being an NFL guy because at the end of the day, yeah, they translate. Everyone looks the same. We're all athletic. We're all gifted. We run RPO. We can get on the edge. We can do this and that. But are you a good quarterback at the end of the day? Or are we just happy with this new mediocrity that has become a lot of people's new excellence? It's not mine. It's bad. And we're just accepting it now because we're used to seeing this average football as a new great thing. And it's mediocrity. And now we've accepted it as a new excellence. And that's just what we're seeing. And you see it. So me and Sean Salisbury, man, are doing a show now. We launch next Tuesday called Last Chance Q. It's going to be the best football breakdown show on the net. And we are breaking these type of things down. Like, this is why you have these issues. And it's so many different facets to it. And we're breaking it down, and it's going to be very, very eye-opening to a lot of folks out there that can see the greatest athletes in the world ever right now. Josh Allen, Mahomes, all these guys, Lamar Jackson, they're freaks. Not very good at quarterback, bro, when you break them down. I'm just being honest. So, coach, you're crazy. Okay, wait till we show you. Eye in the sky don't lie. Let me ask you something before you cut you off. Eye in the sky don't lie, brother. In anything that we do. You agree, right? So if you see a robbery on camera, it was on camera. I robbed McDonald's. Hey, coach, you robbed McDonald's. We got you on film. Damn, all right. Yeah, you got me. Eye in the sky don't lie, right? Why is it, Blake, when I break down a film and show you how bad Lamar Jackson is, why am I the asshole? Is it not factual evidence that I'm showing you bad football? But I'm yet a hater. No, I'm not. I'm a truth teller. And a truth teller is the new hater nowadays. That's what that is.
Yeah, like I remember, Coach, what was the one that went over 1 million when you were breaking down the Kyler Murray video? I mean, there is a lot of – and, Coach, you know this as well as I do. Some people just don't know what they're looking at. So –
well, yeah, that's number one. That's number one. Everybody knows everything about your job, and really they don't. They work at Walmart. God bless them, right? They work at Walmart. But let's just be honest. I mean, you work at Walmart. I need you to work at Walmart. I need you to serve me food and groceries and give me underwear and socks and toilet paper. I need that, bro. But the end of the day is, don't act like you know what I do, because I don't know how to bag broccoli either. So I'm not going to go in and tell you how to do your job. That is what I don't understand, how grown folks nowadays so often put their foot in their mouth about someone else's profession when they really don't know anything about it, and they assume they do. That is a problem I have. That's the only problem I have. And that's why I'll never shut up on Twitter.
Coach, last one for you, and I appreciate it. Well, we got Thursday Night Football. Let me ask you this. As Thursday Night Football, look, Jalen Hurts has been making some throws that I do think I didn't ever expect him to make. Is he a big part of their undefeated season? Like, if you've seen something from him that's kind of transcending with him, or is this just a team effort?
Man, I think he is, as a professional, all right, in the last 12 months, calendar year, he has improved professionally because he has taken his profession serious. People don't understand what that means. He's taken his profession. He's came out here to where I'm at in California. He's gotten coached up. He's gotten better. He broke a lot of bad mechanical flaws. His platform has gotten better. His feet, his base. He's not overstriding anymore. Everything's under his shoulders. Everything looks compact and clean. He's completely transformed his mechanics. Something I wish I would see with Lamar, where Lamar looks actually worse in year 5 than he did 3 years ago. And I got film to prove it, and we'll show that. But so I love to see Jalen Hurts. But at the end of the day, me and Sean were just talking about this today. The end of the day, I judge you on throwing touchdowns as a quarterback. And if Jameis Winston threw 50 touchdowns the year he threw 30 picks and 30 touchdowns, Tampa probably is in a Super Bowl. Tom Brady's probably not in Tampa. 50 touchdowns to 30 picks, I still win with you, dog. It's plus 20. It's a huge thing. But 30 and 30, you might as well make a 30 for 30 on how shitty you are, right? 30 touchdowns, 30 picks. You basically did nothing for me. You did nothing for me. You're equal. You're even. You're leaving. It's BS, right? I need you to throw 3 or 4 times the amount of interceptions in touchdown to ratio. Jalen Hurts has yet to prove that he can throw many touchdowns. Last year, he was 13 touchdowns, 9 picks. Look at this year on an undefeated team. What's he got? 10 touchdowns, 7 games?
Yeah, I think it's 10. Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's less. That's a little more than a touchdown a game. That's not going to win you a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I love what they do. I love what Sirianni's doing. He's got them bought in. They got a good defense. They got a hell of a running game. Miles Sanders is the MVP of that team right now, in my opinion, with A.J. Brown and that O-line. I like Hurts. I like what he's done, but I also have watched film on them quite a bit, and 70% of his throws are at or behind the line of scrimmage. Think about that. Let that sit in. And everything else, he's on the run, he's on the move, and he's getting a lot of yak yards, similar to Tua. He's getting the ball on the run. He's running a lot of 10, 15-yard out routes, and then he'll hit you on a 9 here and there to an A.J. Brown. And A.J. Brown's got 800 yards receiving, and he's doing a great job. But, again, it's a lot of dink and dunk, a lot of yak yards, a lot of mismatches, a lot of angle and opportunity to get our guys the ball in space and find mismatches. They're doing a great job with that. I think Jalen's doing great, but you got to throw more touchdowns because at the end of the day, it's not going to be enough to get you past a big-time opponent like the Niners, like the Vikings, like Dallas, like someone like that in the playoffs.
Yeah, and Dallas defense is actually real. Like they're not a joke. The Coach Real JB joining us. He just mentioned his new show that is launching Tuesday with our good buddy. He joins the show often, Sean Salisbury. But, Coach, I know that they know you, but just in case they don't, tell them where they can find all the stuff and everything that you're doing.
Oh, man, CoachJBStore.com. You can get you merch. You can get you everything. Short, fat, skinny, and tall, man. I got it all. And you get the whiskey, the cigars. I got my own Slapdick cigars just launched last week. Cuban cigar, and they are fire. And those will be on my site this week. You can get them at High Times Wine and Wine Cellar in Costa Mesa, California. You can call them, get it shipped out. And like I said, on my YouTube, the Coach JB Show, every weekday, 6 to 9 a.m. on the West Coast. We go live tomorrow. The great Jason Hart will be joining me, former NBA basketball player.
Thank you so much, Coach. We'll talk to you very soon.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right, that's the real Coach JB joining us. All right, let's do this. Let's get to our final break, and then give me your score predictions. LSU, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia. Hit me with them. We talk about it. Max comments absolutely roasting this man. Let's talk about the Drake Williams Law Firm. DrakeWilliamsLawFirm.com. We return in 45 seconds.
By the Drake Williams Law Firm, DrakeWilliamsLawFirm.com. Whether you've been injured in an accident, you're preparing for a future with your estate planning, you're getting ready to close in on a real estate deal, or you're about to welcome a new addition through adoption into your family, or you're facing criminal charges, you need very experienced attorneys, and that is what the Drake Williams Law Firm will be able to do for you in navigating the legal system. The door to their cozy office in historic downtown Ponchatoula has been open since 1981. They have helped thousands and thousands of Louisiana families and individuals win cases, close on real estate deals, and regain that peace of mind. Their lawyers over at the Drake Williams Law Firm, Ernie Drake III, Ryan J. Williams, and Summer Vicnair, are very determined, compassionate, and dedicated to their craft. It's the Drake Williams Law Firm, DrakeWilliamsLawFirm.com. Give them a call today at 985-386-7600. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino at AYS sent you on by.
Bro, I'm reading these comments. Jesus, H Christ. And then you got Chris in here saying, this man dumb. Chris, now you know how you sound. That man ass. I know y'all mad. Oh, well, big guest. I mean, look, it's what he sees. You don't have to agree with everybody to bring him on. D. Payne says JB is a QB coach. I never knew that. He said, Chris said, because he coached at junior college, everything he says is right. Chris, you can't even spell junior college. Ben, I could spell donut, Mr. Blake. Y'all remember when Chris used to actually like me and be like, oh, excuse me, Mr. Blake, can I ask you a question? Ben Beachy said Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson are good, but Mahomes winning the Super Bowl is in the playoffs every year. Yeah, I don't agree with him. But look, he had some words about LSU, and that's why we brought him on, really. I wanted to talk to him about it. And, you know, he kind of stumbled when I asked him, you mean to tell me a two-loss SEC team wouldn't do it? But look, it is what it is. Chris also says has he not watched Hendon Hooker or Bryce Young? Well, Chris, to this, and there's only one thing I did agree with him. There is a lot of people asking the question about Hendon Hooker in reference to if it's the system or Hooker, but I mean, Hendon's just a really damn good quarterback, but he's a part of there is that question. Blanche says, what if TCU, Clemson, and Ohio State were undefeated and UGA has one loss, doesn't make it to the SEC title game? It's true, man. It's true. But they're not getting over a undefeated Ohio State team. It's not going to happen. I don't care how good Georgia is. They're not going to get above a Big Ten champ. He says, I don't see the SEC champ getting left out regardless. They're not going to get left out regardless. And look, I don't really buy. I don't subscribe to a lot of stuff that people think or say, but it's good to have different opinions. All right, I want to close out with this. Look, I'm gonna end the show with Mike Thomas too, but I want to say we do have some breaking news. Brian Kelly coming for your recruits. No, seriously. Garrett Dellinger, the one-time starting offensive guard, is going to be out on Saturday. Look, I mean, guys, it was hard-pressed to get a guy back from a knee injury that quickly. So you're going to run with the offensive line. This will be their I think it's their fourth consecutive start. Look, Auburn, no, it'd be their third consecutive start. So, look, I mean, I would have changed it up anyway. That's just my opinion. I mean, I think that they've been playing good anyway. Luke says, Blake, honest opinion is he owns something. I don't really know. I really don't know. I mean, it kind of sounded like it some, but I don't really know. Juan Adams says, you just not interested in what he has to say. We just not interested. Okay, well, I'm sorry. That's on you. But the guy's got 175,000 Twitter followers. I think LSU gets ahead early. Saban spins out. LSU by 2 or 3 scores, 38-24. I don't see that, man. I can't go there. I don't think LSU beats them by 2 scores. I can't, or especially 3 scores. I can't go there. Let me end it with this, and then we'll get out of here. We'll cut it a little bit short tonight. Look, I don't like necessarily calling for people's jobs or get traded or fired. I'm out on Alvin Kamara, y'all. I just can't. I mean, Alvin Kamara. What the fuck am I saying? I'm out on Mike Thomas. Look, I can't. Why did I say Alvin Kamara? I don't even know what I'm thinking. I'm out on Mike Thomas. Look, this will be 3 straight seasons that he has been injured. He hasn't been in the lineup. And now you're talking about a dislocated toe. Like, guys, he's out for a dislocated toe. A dislocated toe. Let me say it again. Guys, a fucking dislocated toe. Like, man, I've played games with broken fingers and broken hands. Guys, I don't know if you can really see it. Maybe trying to see if I can find a way to do it. But I don't know if you could see the scar on my hand. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But it's like legitimately right here. Maybe if no, the light's too bright. But if you could see maybe just a small smidgen where they put the plate in my hand. I mean, guys, I played with a broken hand. I had a plate in my hand. I had a club on my hand. Like, I legitimately don't understand, like, a dislocated toe. Maybe I'm just maybe I'm being too hard on Mike Thomas. Maybe he comes back next season or this season and balls out, but I don't know, man. And the bad thing is you can't ship him off because nobody's going to take him with that contract. I don't know if you cut him and take the dead money. Like, I don't really know. Like, I really don't know. And LSU Sports Fanatic says, Ruff, you ain't playing with no broken toe, dude. Brother, I play with a broken hand. I've torn my ACL twice. What the hell are you talking about? A dislocated toe. Like, how many people have such similar injuries? Like, Garrett Dellinger tore an MCL and has practiced all week long, and you're talking to me about a broken toe? The reason he's not playing is because he's still getting paid. That's the bottom line. He's getting paid a lot of money not to play. You can't trade him. Anthony Saint says, hashtag ask Blake, would you put Olave number 1 now or Jarvis Landry? Jarvis Landry ain't playing. I don't think either one of them deserve to be wide receiver 1. Oh, but Blake, you ain't playing with no broken toe. Nobody's healthy. Nobody that's played 8 games of football, college or pros, is healthy. He hadn't played in 3 years. Bro, he legitimately, I gave him the benefit of, guys, I gave Mike Thomas the benefit of the doubt. He wasn't even rehabbing to try to get back and play. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. Go on IR. Don't play. Doesn't give me 2 shits. See ya. He's got a lot. He's got a lot of working to do before he gets back on my list of guys that I want to see succeed for the Saints. Because you're not giving the Saints anything. Guys, he got hurt. He didn't rehab. He went an entire offseason without rehabbing. And you're trying to convince me that he wants to play. Yeah, okay. Whatever. All right, look, we'll see you Saturday morning. SEC Prime Show. I'm sure Zach will be here with his haircut. Look at him. Look how cute he is. What's that, Zach? It doesn't matter. All right, I'm sorry. Pooh Bear, hello. Milk and Cookies. We can't hear you. Can't hear you. You're muted.
I'm there.
All right, guys, what's y'all score prediction? What y'all thinking? What's the score going to be? Alabama, LSU. What do y'all think?
I'm kind of confident. I'm going 35-31 LSU.
Oh shit!
And I picked Ole Miss last week, and I got a lot of crap for it.
Yeah, 31-21 LSU. Beat down in Baton Rouge. Let's go.
Y'all know we're gonna spot him at least
that
14.
confident, huh?
Y'all know we're gonna spot him at least 14 in the first quarter.
Listen. You can't.
I think you can.
I don't think you can.
I think they're not Tennessee. They're not Tennessee.
They're not Tennessee.
Ole Miss.
I have to agree.
They're
with
not
Pooh
Mississippi State.
I got to agree with Pooh on that one. Like
they're just.
You know why you can't. You know why you can't. But you know what? You know who also they're not, or those coaches aren't. They're not Nick Saban either.
Yeah, I agree. And guess what?
That's
The
true.
teams that Bama has played, Josh Heupel is not Brian Kelly. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Let's go. Let's go. LSU by 10.
Zach, you subscribe to this notion as well? You sticking up for the other producer here?
I agree. I mean, LSU's proven it time in and time out. I mean, and I think Tennessee's better. I think Tennessee's a better team than Bama. They showed it already.
Let's be honest, Blake. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
Look at it.
So
Look
why
at it,
wouldn't they be
Blake.
able to do it against Bama?
LSU was back in there with Tennessee if they kick field goals, if they catch some passes.
And now they are. Now they actually are.
My question is what if Bama? My only thing is, man, is I don't know. I'll tell you this: we ain't seen a defense better than this one, though. I'll promise you that.
We damn sure seen the offense. We damn sure have seen the offense better.
True, but you haven't seen a defense better than this one. You definitely hadn't seen a front seven better than this one. Like, so let me tell you, before I'll just tell the producers this. We'll end it here. And I'll get y'all's answers. My whole thing is what I'm so nervous about is their front seven against our young offensive line. Not that they're more talented. Okay, because listen, I think Emory Jones is going to be a freaking stud. I think Will Campbell is going to be a freaking stud. My thing is what does Will Anderson have up his sleeve for a freshman?
I spot them probably the first 2 series maybe. That Bama's D line to get the best of the O line. Those stunts that Tennessee ran, I guarantee you that Brad Davis and those coaches have worked on that.
It's a good point. They've gotten more experience, right? They're getting more experience. Zach,
it's not going to happen again.
I mentioned this on our show Tuesday night, but and listen, I'm going to say this, and people are like, "Whoa, calm down."
What?
Like,
you have a Tim Tebow haircut? We already know. Continue.
Listen, Will Anderson is a freak. We already know he is, but I expected to be hearing his name a lot more this year than we have.
Mm-hmm.
And he has not been as impressive as I expected him to be. And I think a lot of people expected him to be coming into
him
this
against the
season.
true freshman right tackle either.
Yes, he has.
True against Texas. That's different. Emory Jones has no business playing tackle. He is a guard. It's a big difference.
I
He's
agree.
great at tackle.
But he's been
Not a great tackle. He's a fantastic guard. He's
Emory
playing out of
Jones?
position. Ask Brad Davis at the end of the season. I guarantee you he's going to tell you he's playing out of position. The reason he's playing right tackle is because they don't have another dude that can play it.
But he's doing well. He's playing
He's
well.
given up the last 4 sacks. He's given up 3 of them, Zach. That's my point.
I think he's just played. I think he's performed well considering what we expected.
I'm not saying he hasn't. I don't know, man. I'm just nervous.
Yeah. Hey, before we go, I do want to say this.
Chelsea, what's called Classy?
No. We've been talking about Zach looking like Doctor Strange.
He does.
He does. Especially if Doctor Strange was a gynecologist. All right, people. Peace out, guys.
We're out. Hit